space in between where you are and where you want to be. We call it the void. Well, that's what I call it. And this is an important space to understand because this makes all the difference in whether or not you'll be able to advance levels in life, whether we're talking your personal life, your business life, your career, or anything else. See, what people had to understand, I was talking to an audience of salespeople just yesterday explaining this concept, and of all the things that I said, the people I talked to when I got off the stage, I was asking them what's anything in particular that stood out to you. They all mentioned this very concept that I'm explaining to you all here briefly. And the thing is this, whenever you're trying to step up levels in your life, you're trying to go from level 1 to level 2, 3, 4, 5, understand that a real elevation in levels is not like walking up steps. You can't walk from level 4 to level 5 or level 10 to level 11. You can't walk there. And what I mean by that metaphorically is you have to leap. Meaning, it's not just going to be this easy, seamless transition from one level to the next. You have to put something on the line, take some form of risk, deal with some form of discomfort, stress, anxiety in order to move from one level to the next. Because if it was a seamless transition and just easy to go from one level to the next level and there wasn't any stress or anxiety or discomfort involved in doing so, well, think about it. Everybody would easily move from one level to the next. Everyone would just be continually getting better and advancing, because if you ask most people, do you want to get better? Do you want to advance? Do you want to go to a higher level? Most people's answer would be yes, they do. The challenge for most people is that making that advancement requires giving up some comforts that they have gotten used to, some things they've grown accustomed to, and they're going to have to leave their comfort zone in some way in order to get to that next level. The reason most people don't advance is not because they don't want to. It's not even because they're not capable of doing so. It is not because they are unaware of the potential or the availability of a higher level. That's not the reason most people don't advance. The reason most people don't advance is because the discomfort that comes with it is too uncomfortable for them to live with. So they instead stay where they are. And this is the jump. So it's kind of like you're standing on the edge of one cliff and the next level is the other cliff is on the other side, but you can't walk from one cliff to another. There's a space in between. You have to jump. You have to take the leap. So that's if you want to get a visual for that metaphor that I'm giving you here. And this is what stops most people. Now, let me help you out with this. I'll take it a little bit further. The stress that comes with this, you can look at this as a negative type of stress, the kind of stress most people are familiar with. Most of the time when people say stress, they mean the stress that beats you down, makes you fearful, anxious, makes you worry, and causes you to stop and do nothing. All right, that's a negative kind of stress. All of you are familiar with that one. That's the stress that makes you feel tired and look 10 years older than you actually are. Distress. There's another kind of stress though. It's called eustress. EUSTRESS. It's a real word. Look it up in the dictionary. And this is known as the positive stress. It's the kind of stress that, again, people just choose to frame their stress as, hey, this is a good thing. This is actually going to make me better. This will help me advance. Even though it's stressful, I'm looking forward to it and I embrace this stress because it's going to help my growth and help my advancement in life. And that's a positive type of stress. Good news about stress, everybody, is that you have a choice as to how you choose to frame it. It's not that you can choose for stress to not happen. Well, technically you can. You just stay in the same space your entire life, then you can, for the most part, avoid stress, but you still got to deal with the stress of a lack of growth and a lack of advancement. But when you deal with any kind of stress, you have the option of how you choose to frame it. Is this a bad stress or is this a good stress? Is this a stress that's going to make me better or is this a stress that's going to make me worse? You have that option available to you at all times. The biggest mistake that a lot of people make is that when they're stepping into a new space and doing a new thing, they ask themselves, well, do I have the belief or do I have the confidence that I can do this? And that's a bad question because you don't have confidence when you're doing something that you've never done before. Confidence is about your past, it's about your history. Have I done this already? Do I have a track record of doing this thing? And that gives me the belief that I can do it again. Well, if you're doing something brand new, you're not doing it again. There is no again, or it's your first time doing it. So you don't have confidence. I talk to a lot of people from a lot of different spaces: athletes, entrepreneurs, students, business professionals, people who are just trying to build themselves up, male, female, young, old, black, white, all different industries. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're stepping into a new opportunity, or what looks like a new opportunity, is they ask themselves, do I have the confidence that I can do this? But when you're doing something brand new, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you of something. You're not going to have any confidence. Confidence is about what you've already done. So when you're doing something new, you shouldn't be asking yourself, am I confident? Because you're not. Instead, you got to ask yourself, do I have the bravery? Do I have the balls? Do I have the courage? Whatever word you want to use, to step forward into this new thing, even though I have no track record in my past of actually doing it. And if you ask yourself the right question, then it's much easier to move yourself forward. A lot of people don't move forward. Again, I'm going to say this one more time. Not because you can't, not because you don't have the potential, not because you don't have the opportunity, not because you don't have the desire. Many people don't move forward because your mind has set you up for failure, because you are asking the wrong question. The wrong question is, do I have the belief that I can do this when it's something brand new? You should ask that question when you're doing something you've already done. Then you should ask yourself, do I have the confidence? Because then you can just look at your past. When you're doing something new, you should not ask yourself, do I have the confidence? Because you don't have it. Instead, you should ask yourself, do I have the balls? Do I have the courage? Do I have the ability to do this thing that I want to do? Then you're setting yourself up for success. So just asking yourself a better question when you're in that empty space, or you're looking at approaching that empty space in between leaving your past behind, but getting to a future that you haven't yet reached, you haven't yet grasped. And this empty space right here, and there was one of the salespeople I was talking to yesterday, came up to me after I was done speaking, and she said, Dre, like, this is the exact space that I'm in right now. Like, I'm trying to leave the old place and I'm trying to get to the new place, but I'm in this no man's land right now. I'm in that empty space right now. So the things that you're saying are like resonating with me perfectly. So I'm going to guess that somebody who's going to watch this, whether you watch it the day that I put it out or you watch it 6 months later, that this is the thing that is going to resonate with you. That when you're making that leap, when you're taking that jump, you just got to ask yourself the right questions. You have to frame the situation, which may be uncomfortable. That's okay, because we all know that getting better means getting out of your comfort zone. So discomfort is part of the deal. You just got to frame it the right way, and you position yourself to win. Inaccurate framing positions you to lose. So it's all a matter of how are you talking to yourself. What are you saying to yourself? Are you putting yourself in a position to do what needs to be done, or are you not? It's a black and white yes or no. I just gave you the formula for how to do it the right way. I help people with this every day. I just told you I was talking to some salespeople yesterday, whether teams or individuals. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That's where you can work with me directly. That's where our focus and our attention is at. You want to work with me directly, that's where it happens. That's how you make it happen. Work on your game. Dre all day.